This is a video about opinions, thoughts, feelings, justifications, complaints, and intuition. Hello, this is Chris speaking, Shores of Infinity, with another video about the mind. The mind is expressing itself in emotions, in thoughts, in opinions, in justifications, in judgments, and complaints. The mind compares all the time, and if it finds anything unfair, that anyone else can do anything better, gets more, earns more, knows more, is happier, experiences less pain, and so on, it gets upset. Fear, shame, and guilt get triggered, and my laptop starts ventilating loudly. Now, YouTube is a funny medium. YouTube is an opinion exchange, actually. So to have spiritual videos on YouTube might not be the best platform, but it's the largest platform. And it's easy to handle. What most successful YouTubers do is they ask the audience, and what is your opinion about that? Please tell me, I'm interested. And most people really love that, because finally someone is asking for their opinion, which is usually not asked for. So at this point I have to disappoint you here. Sorry. I will not ask for your opinion. Why not? Because opinions are based on guilt, shame, fear, thoughts, emotions. And most of the time, not even your own thoughts and emotions. Opinions are often just adopted or beaten into you during childhood. Opinions are the surface chaff of brainwashing, the leftovers. So the purpose of this channel is not to reinforce the brainwashing. It's not to encourage your thinking and your emotions and your opinions. The purpose of this channel is to encourage a different perspective, to encourage intuition, and later direct knowledge. But first intuition, and to free yourself from brainwashing, to dare to see what you call reality from a different perspective. This perspective is not necessarily truer, but is a different one. Usually all problems stem from being stuck in one perspective. And most of the time not even a perspective that you chose at some point. You just adopted it because whoever raised you didn't give you a choice. Nor did they get a choice back then when they were small. One reality is not truer than another reality. What is true is that there are several realities. And once you have access to another reality, it's similar to be able to speak two languages properly. Or once you have lived in another country, you know that the customs in your country of birth are just customs. They're just habits, cultural habits. It's not how you're supposed to behave like. It's just how you're supposed to behave like in that country. It's different in another country. And in the most Western countries, science is the new religion. And people think, well, it's objective, isn't it? You can prove it with mathematics and physics and chemistry experiments and so on. No, it's not objective. It's all part of our worldview, of our set of opinions and beliefs. It's not objective, it's not knowledge, it's a belief. And the most valuable lesson you can get from here probably is to challenge every belief and to verify it. Everything I say or someone else says is completely useless unless and until you verify it. Verify for yourself practically if this works or if this is correct. It's never my aim to convince you of anything or to replace one belief with another. That would be terrible. I only offer you new doors to open and to explore, but you have to go through the door. I can point towards the door, you have to open it and pass through and look what's on the other side. I see myself a bit as a pathfinder or as a lighthouse for people who are on the brink of awakening or who just have awakened or to whom enlightenment has happened and they don't know what to do now with it. I do not invite people to share their opinions, beliefs, thoughts, emotions. I don't care about any thoughts, emotions, beliefs, opinions. Not my own and not those of others. Because they're just brainwashing. I'm not interested in anyone else's brainwashing. Unless they come to me as a therapist, then I can help them to get rid of their brainwashing and the pain that ensued from it. My dream character here, Chris, also has beliefs and opinions and thoughts and emotions, but I also don't care about them. It's like listening to the radio. I don't give a fuck what they play on the radio, and I sure as hell don't believe it. I learned how to listen to my intuition, and it works well. So, and sometimes I get comments, and that's one of the reasons why I don't reply to comments, by the way, most of the time, because there's no reason to. But sometimes I also get emails, for example, how do you get to your knowledge? How can you claim to know this? I have a different opinion. I think it's like that, or I feel it's like this. I believe it's different. And to this I can only say, I don't force anyone to listen to my videos. If you think it's crap, don't listen to it. Listen to something else that will be a much better use of your time. Nor did I ask anyone to believe anything I say. It's not about belief. That's the whole point. If you listen to my videos and you think it's about me convincing you to believe something else, you have not heard a single word I said. I don't want to change anything you believe, think, feel. You can keep your opinions and your complaints. Why not? If this has worked for you well, then keep them. But much likely it has not worked for you well. Your opinions, your brainwashing has not worked for you well, and you feel miserable, and you're looking for something else. And I'm showing you the door to something else, and you can try it out and see for yourself, or not, and wallow in your complaints. It's up to you. I've pissed off many followers of this channel during the last 3 years or so by telling them that I don't care about their opinions. Which I don't. Why should I? Most likely you yourself are the person who is most annoyed by your own opinions, because you have to listen to them all day long. Your internal dialogue, your superego is blathering, cackling all day long the same stuff repeatedly, and you're fed up, and rightly so. That is why the first thing you have to do on the way to enlightenment is to give up your opinions and to stop your internal dialogue. That's the first thing. You should, in my opinion, if you want this expression, you should focus all your attention, all your energy, all your time on stopping your internal dialogue until your mind doesn't say a single word unless you want it to, unless you ask it to. And then we can talk. Then we can talk, and I'm happy to talk to you, to any one of you, in a Zoom or Skype session or whatever, on the basis of your mind being empty, and then you're wondering what to do now. If you cannot control your mind, then what are you talking about? If you're a slave of your mind and anything that crops up from the depths you think that's you, then I cannot even talk to you because you're someone else every few seconds. Whatever feeling, whatever thought crops up, or you catch from the ether, you think that's you. To whom am I talking then? So I'm claiming here that stopping the internal dialogue is the most important step. And now you can choose to find that out for yourself, to verify that or not. You can get upset and say, "Oh, how can he say that? Blah, blah, blah." Or you can try it out. Those are the few choices. The sad truth is that many people on the spiritual path, they don't want to wake up. They just want to complain that they haven't woken up yet, that enlightenment hasn't happened to them yet. They find it unfair that it has happened to someone else, but not themselves. That is a sad truth. And you can keep on doing this to find that life has been unfair to you, which is probably true, but it doesn't help you with anything. It just keeps you stable in your state of misery you're used to. If you want something else, try to verify it, if it's possible to stop your internal dialogue. I know people who didn't do anything else for a year or two until they managed to. It's possible, but not if you spend half a minute a day on it, thinking about it a little bit. You really have to do it. It's about action. This is not a theoretical channel, this is a practical channel. It's about practice, about action, about doing it. It's not about thinking about it. Might it be possible? And what if I could do that? No, that's a waste of time. That's mindfuck. Stop wasting your time like that. You could die any moment. Stop wasting your time. Stop your internal dialogue. Don't listen to your opinions, thoughts, and emotions. They're just distractions. Once you manage to stop your internal dialogue, you will see that thought is not necessary for anything in your life, except maybe to count. But for that you can use a pocket calculator or your cell phone or a computer. So even for counting it's not necessary. It's not necessary for anything. You will not stop to exist because the babbling in your head stops. To the very contrary, you will feel much better and much more relaxed, and you will hear the voice of your intuition, because that will be the only voice that remains. And it will not get on your nerves, because it will only come when it's necessary. And it's really nice to sit around and not think. You can enjoy the world much more. And most people are afraid, oh God, if my thinking stops, am I gone then? Well, yes and no. Your ego will not be in the driver's seat anymore. It will be in the back seat. And this is something you want, right? If not, then please don't stop your internal dialogue. There's even a Facebook group of people to whom a stop of thought has happened involuntarily, and for them it's a big shock. They hate it. But if enlightenment is your goal, this is the first step. Without that, it's very difficult to experience anything else, because you're completely all the time distracted by your own thoughts. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for joining me as a Patreon. Thank you to all my patrons, and see you soon.